Goals, goals, goals. What are we expecting? Yes, of course. This tactic is called goals, 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 and it is by someone, Tommo, on the Steam Workshop. That basically says B2B invincible, 110 points per season, 500 plus goals in 3 years. So we'll see how it works for our three teams of Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Ipswich Town in the championship. But there is also a massive description talking about the formation, the accomplishments, things like that on the Steam page, which is fantastic to see. I always recommend taking a look at tactics when the people who created the tactics have actually put in the time to do a description, to talk about the formation and the accomplishments and things like that, to just talk about everything of the tactic and how they created it, why they created it, and how it works. So check it out on the Steam page. Link is in the description below. But we're going to get into the tactic right now. It starts out with a sweeper keeper in defense, a fullback on the left in attack, a wingback in the right, ball playing defender in defend, and next to a central defender in defend, a DM in support, a CM above him in attack, a Mazzala next to him in attack, inside forward on the left in support, an inverted winger in attack on the right, and an advanced forward in attack up front. Attacking mentality, you can see 4-3-3 attack. In possession is attacking with fairly wide. Approach play, pass into space and play out of defense. Passing directness is standard. Tempo is higher. Low crosses, run at defense, and be more expressive. I will say I have not used a lot of the be more expressive things like that, just creative freedom yet in my saves. But in transition, counter press, counter, take short kicks. And then out of possession, a high press line of engagement, a much higher defensive line, trigger press much more often, and tackling is get stuck in. How did it work for our three teams? Well, we start out with the Premier League teams as always. And as you can see, Liverpool with 83 points in second place. Aston Villa with, 76 points, in fourth place. Both doing very well. However, 83 points is not a fantastic tally for Liverpool. That's right around average. Average is about 85 or thereabouts. Aston Villa at 76 is a little bit above average. Definitely location-wise in the table, it is above average. They're supposed to be 10th. Liverpool is supposed to be second. So Liverpool do pick up their first trophy in the EFL Cup final against Aston Villa, funny enough. 5-2, an absolute thrashing, but they are kicking the ever-loving heck out of Manchester United, 5-1 and 5-2. And then Ipswich Town's there as well, 5-1. So they lose out in the quarters. Overall, EFL Cup is doing fantastic for our three teams. Unfortunately, after manhandling Newport County and Cardiff, they lose out to Tottenham 1-2 in the FA Cup 5th round. But trophy number 2 does come in the Europa League final against Benfica 2-1. They beat Atalanta, Milan, RB Salzburg. They beat a lot of teams. Yes, Red Bull Salzburg. But they beat a lot of good teams in their upcoming second trophy. And not a single loss there. A couple of draws, but some thrashings as well. Liverpool squad looking fairly standard as we've seen. Alisson with 59 appearances, 27 goals for Nunez, Diaz with 22, Salah and Szoboszlai with 21 apiece. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players in double digits. Curtis Jones with 12. That's crazy. Assist-wise, 21 for Salah, Szoboszlai with 20. I mean, they've got it. It's fantastic. It's amazing to see. I'm really surprised they didn't come in first. But Salah with 7-3-7, 7-2-8 for Diaz. Just an amazing outing. Moving over to Aston Villa, we already know they lose out to Liverpool 2-5 in the EFL Cup final. But they make up for it by beating Tottenham in the FA Cup final 4-1 in extras. That is one hell of an extra time period. Trophy number 2 comes against Fiorentina, as we've seen many times before already. 3-2, the Europa Conference League final. Trophy number 2 in the bag. Squad-wise, Martinez with 65 appearances. I mean, he's always going to be up there, but this is probably the biggest we've seen so far. Goals-wise, 38 for Ollie Watkins and Diaby with 20. Now, this is a tactic. Luis, Diaby, Digne, all up there. 18, 17, 13 assists. Even 12, a couple 12s, a couple 11s. They've got some fantastic assist outings. 7-3-2 is for Coutinho. 7-2-9 for Diaby, 7-2-1 for Digne. Overall, I mean, not quite as good as Liverpool, but still fantastic outing for Aston Villa. Data extremely shaky defensively, very good in attack, some seriously strong attacking numbers. And if we look at Aston Villa, pretty much the same. A little bit better defensively maybe, but attacking numbers are fantastic, through the roof. Premier League stats, attacking wise, it is there for all of them. Most goals, Liverpool with 106, Aston Villa with 100. Fewest shots against, they're in there. Aston Villa with 319, 332 for Liverpool. Unfortunately for everything else, not there until you get to most shots for, 717 for Liverpool. That's just wonderful to see. Overall, though, individual performances just don't seem to be there very much. Ollie Watkins up there with 22 goals. I mean, Holland with 43. What are you going to do? Most assists, you got Salah in there. Player of the Match awards, Jota. But otherwise, you don't have a lot until you get to what is most key passes. Mohamed Salah's in there with 99, but 135 for De Bruyne. But overall, you got a couple for most shots. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to get a little bit better of individual performances. But overall, still, not a bad place to be for these teams. Heading down to the championship level, you can see Ipswich Town in third place, getting promoted, 97 points. Absolutely phenomenal. 121 goals for. Yeah, I think we're going to see the same that we did with Liverpool there in Aston Villa. But you can see in the playoffs, they did beat Middlesbrough 6-8. Wow, that was a big playoffs rally. And in the final, 3-0 over Leeds. So they're promoted. They're moving up to the Premier League next season. Well, EFL Cup, we already know that Ipswich Town bow out to Liverpool 1-5 in the quarterfinals, and they didn't make it too far, bowing out Aston Villa right there 2-6 in the fourth round. If they didn't get Aston Villa, there's a good chance they could have gone on and, lost to Liverpool or Aston Villa at some point later on. Squad-wise, 46 goals for Hirsch. That is amazing to see. 18 for Marcus Harness. So you can see that there's a big dip. 15 for Luongo assist-wise. Leaf Davis with 11. 7-3-9 for Hirsch. 7-2-4 for Jackson. Very well done. I will say, for the championship level stats, they're in there throughout most of it. Most points per game, of course. Most goals, Ipswich Town 132. That is crazy. But few shots against, you're in there. A lot of this is kind of standard stuff. They're not in best completion, though, but most shots for 773. So overall, player-wise, they're really not in there either. Most goals, 37, just kicking the crap out of the second place person, Jack Clark. But everything else, really, they're not there. Individual performance, I guess, are more scattered around this time. Leif Davis is in most key passes, and then George Hirsch most shots, of course. But overall, I mean, again, I think it's a lot of the stats are just spread out amongst a lot of different players, which is great to see. You get a couple of people in the individual stats for each league section. However, some phenomenal numbers for the squad. Really should have deserved better. I mean, 10 points off Manchester City. I don't know how that happened for Liverpool, but overall, easily you guys can pick up your own set of 3 points above what these guys have done if you take control of things yourself, which is generally the case if you're able to play through a full season and do fairly well. So 83 points, you might be able to easily beat Manchester City and do really well in the league. Aston Villa 76, you can get up to in the 80s or something like that. But that is it for me, Sefian FM, for the Football Manager blog channel, saying thank you as always for watching. Take care and enjoy.